Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's great to be here with you each and every weekend for our Cabral HouseCalls. Very excited to be able to chat with you on this Saturday if you are listening in on the day the show went live. And what we do here on the show, if you're new to the show, is answer all of our community's questions each and every week. Saturdays and Sundays, we get to about 12 questions per weekend, 6 each day. And today's start on November 11th. So we are, about 6 weeks behind? That's what I typically say. And yes, we're about 6 weeks behind. So we run anywhere from 5 to 6 weeks behind. Usually we've been at worst 12 weeks and at best, I think about 3 or 4 weeks. So that's typically the clip at which people are just submitting questions. Again, I want you to know that I'm always happy to answer your questions. They're always answered in the order that they come in. And if there are more in-depth questions, well, this is where we answer them right here on the house calls. So I'm happy to do that. Many of you know that you can get your same-day answers at cabralsupportgroup.com. That is our private Facebook group. You can get not just advice from our health coaches, but also you get advice from the community as well. 10,000 plus members there inside of the group. Really excited to be able to say that since, we don't advertise, we don't market it. It's just really for our community, and it's a global health-based community. It's pretty powerful. It's absolutely amazing. And January 11th, that week, that's where we'll be posting every single day for our New Year's detox going on then, right? So New Year in January. Hopefully you'll be joining us. Okay. So questions today, not on the iPad. I've got my phone. I've got my computer here. So we're going to be answering your questions, wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, you name it. We're going to tackle those topics. So now the last thing I did want to mention, though, too, is you can get quick tips from me. And a lot of people don't believe this. You're actually texting me. And I'm going to look right now inside of my app. But you can get your question, just a quick tip, not a long Cabral house call, but a quick tip right inside of the app here. And I answer up to 100 texts per day. So, it's a fun little service that I'm now providing. It's completely free. Only people inside of our community know about it, but you can go to stevencabral.com/text and it will bring you to the app just to sign up. It's completely free. Literally, it's just like texting. You just text the number. But since I don't have the number memorized, you can just go to stevencabral.com/text, and it forwards you right over to that specific app that I use. All right. So let's dive into the show, though. The first question today is from Darren. Darren says, "Good day, Dr. Cabral. I used the search feature and found nothing, hence this question. Do you ever use Bladderwrack in your practice? If so, what's it used for and the benefits, etc.?" Okay, it's a great question, and I will let you know that although I've studied the specific, it's not quite an herb, it's a seaweed form, basically is the main use of it. I apologize. I'm getting back to my document here. So the question was, do I use it in my practice? I typically don't. Okay, I've studied it, but I don't use it myself. Here's why. It's very rich in iodine, very high in iodine, which is great. So a lot of people use it for the thyroid because and hopefully you have, if you've gone through my free masterclass on the thyroid, if you haven't, go to stevencabral.com/courses. 90 minutes, completely free. You will learn inside and out how your thyroid works and what could go wrong and how to fix it. Check it out. It's at stevencabral.com/courses. You click on the thyroid rebalancing, and you don't have to take the Health Results Accelerator if you don't want, but you can take the free masterclass if you want. Check that out. Okay, so here's the reason why I don't always lean towards like the food, the herbs, those types of things. Of course, I'm using a whole food nutrition plan in my practice. I'm using selenium foods, iodine foods in my practice, but I need a clinical dose, meaning I need a dose that I can track. Because if it's not enough iodine, I know how much it is on a daily basis and I can go down. And if it's too much, I can go down. If it's too little, I can increase the iodine. So that's why I use potassium iodine in my practice. It's called daily thyroid support. And it's not just that, it's iodine, it's zinc in there, it's ashwagandha, it's Google, it's, all sorts of great Ayurvedic herbs and the best of orthomolecular medicine. So that's what I do, and that's why I use it. Because again, if I'm using, let's say, I'm going to use a handful of Bladderwrack, or I'm going to use capsules of Bladderwrack, whatever it may be, I don't know the exact dosage, and I can't get it the same every single day. And for someone, when they're trying to rebalance, I want the same dosage in that daily thyroid support in the morning, and I want the same exact dosage at night, so I know I'm getting enough iodine in their body. And then again. I can relab test if I want, 12 weeks, 16 weeks after being on the program. And then I can see that their thyroid is now rebalanced or, whatever it might be. So that's what I do. Good question. Now we can say we've talked about Bladderwrack. All right, so Mike's up next. Dr. Cabral, is it possible for probiotic supplements to contain dead bacteria or mold? I took a probiotic supplement and it made me very sick within 3 weeks of taking it. I'm practically having all the symptoms of mold toxicity: chronic fatigue, muscle weakness, muscle twitching, joint pain, brain fog, red eyes, and shortness of breath, constipation, and other symptoms. What test should I run, and what supplements or protocol should I take? I mean, it's a great question. Happy to help with this. I want you to understand, though, that the symptoms you named are mold. It can be, but not just mold, right? I mean, it can be, a lot of people have this with leaky gut, with small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, with candida overgrowth. What else? Food sensitivities that they're taking in on a daily basis. So, just keep in mind, there can be multiple things. In an ideal world, you would run the Candida lab test, which is that organic acids test. You'd also run the mold test as well. And so those two would be great to run. I would love to see a hair tissue mineral analysis thrown in there too. So that's what I would do for sure, food sensitivity test. So, I mean, there's a lot I would do. Ideally, you'd run the big five plus the mold test. And again, I know I'm always kind of trying to be lighthearted, and that is because I know what it's like to be suffering like Mike is suffering right now. But the good news is this: you're going to be able to figure this out. There's no doubt about it. I had mold toxicity, no doubt about it. I had candida, I had SIBO, I had H. pylori. As I say, the only thing I didn't find was parasites, which is good, but I had to take care of all the others. Here's the thing, though. Let's answer your question on probiotics, but there might be something else going on that's going to be much easier to fix. So, Mike, let me help you through this. So, yes, there are many probiotics out there, and I would say the vast majority in the market that are very cheap probiotics. If you buy your probiotics from a no-name, non-functional medicine company, most likely you're getting dead probiotics and not the dosage that you're looking for. And yes, there can be mold. Here's what we do differently, and it's why you can trust the EcoLife brand. Now, again, you can purchase from other companies. I recommend good, functional, medicine-based brands, right? What doctors use, not just, again, like anything that you can get on Amazon. We sell on Amazon now, so I know you can get brands there. But here's what we do. Our probiotics are dairy-free, all right? The last one that wasn't was the Clean Gut Probiotic, and it's just a couple strains, and we're switching those over to be plant-based as well. Okay, so ours are basically vegan-based. They're also what's called shelf-stable, okay? And the reason is this. Well, let me give you one more reason, too. Our probiotics are clinically tested to survive 95 plus degree heat. They are also manufactured with a higher dosage than what's in there. So we say 50 billion. So, or let's say our dairy-free acidophilus, 10 million. So when we look at those, that means that's the minimum. It's typically manufactured around, for us, like 60, 65 million in those two capsules. But it's guaranteed 2 years later, which is the expiration date, to have the 50 billion. And we have the studies on that. So just to let you know, most companies don't do that because, again, they're not for practitioners. Like, the reason why I develop these supplements is because when people work with myself and my team, I need to know they're getting what's in the actual capsule. That's it. So I have to be able to test it. So that's why we use the delayed release capsules, the DR caps, which cost way more money than regular capsules, but they survive the stomach acid, and then their dose that's in there. But also they're shelf stable, because I'm not a huge believer like in storing your probiotics in the refrigerator, because they can start to grow mold easier. That's why you don't put your coffee in the refrigerator and a lot of other those things, just like your beans, I should say. So that's that. And the last thing is, and then there's no dairy. So it's not as easy to grow mold. So that's why we make our probiotics the way that we do. You can find them at equi.life, EQUI.LIFE. But Mike, I'm sure you already know that. And the daily probiotic support is the one that I recommend. And here's why. Because you might be dealing with a probiotic that has strains of bacteria that lead to higher levels of histamine. And it doesn't mean the strains of bacteria are bad for you. It means they're not right for your gut right now. So you actually might be, I mean, I would look at your gut testing. I would look at gut testing. And again, you can find that at eco.life. But if not, if you can't run the labs because they're out of your price range, then I would at least then get into the CBO protocol because something's going on here, with your gut. But the nice thing is it might not be mold. Now you should test for it, but this could be a histamine reaction because every single one of your symptoms can be histamine related. All right. So there we are. Thank you, Mike. Carrie Ann's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. Absolutely love all that you do. You're making an enormous difference on this planet. Thank you so much for all of this. I'm starting the IHP program in 2021, and I'm so excited. Right now, I'm on day 11 of my first 21-day detox. For the first 5 nights, I haven't had a nightmare, which previously I have had the same recurring nightmare every night at the same time, 40 minutes after I fall asleep for the first few years. I know this is related to the detox as I've changed nothing else in my life at this moment. My question for you is, why is this happening? Thank you again. Carrie Ann, thank you so much. And I look forward to welcoming you into our IHP global community in 2021. So really excited. I'm going to look for your name. And we only allow 100 people in per month. So I will remember your name, especially when we do our live Q&As. So, okay, let's go through this. You basically were having nightmares every single night about 40 minutes after you went to sleep. Well, 40 minutes after you went to sleep, you're typically then moving into what's called the deep sleep stage. I did a podcast on deep sleep versus REM, but what I want you to know is this. During the detox, so much is happening. That's why I can't pin it down exactly for you. I know that the functional medicine detox that you're doing, which again, if people want to see what this is, it can be life-changing for people. And obviously, we don't just say that. You can just go to the cabralsupportgroup.com. We don't ask for testimonials. People write in all the time at the results they're getting. So you can just go to equa.life/detox, and you're welcome to check that out. But we're working on healthy levels of blood sugar, healthy hormone levels, healthy levels of inflammation. We're giving you a specific time in your day to get into a deeper level of autophagy. Massive changes are taking place in your diet. We're giving you a specific nutrition list of foods to eat. So the goal, you don't always know why, like which aspect of that. Well, we know it's the detox, but there's 45 ingredients in the detox. There's a lot. So, and it's only over 3 products. Here's what I would say to you. It's not always important exactly why. Like the why does matter. But when you have a lot of different variables going on, what we're really doing is we're emptying your rain barrel. That's the truth. And I'm sure, Carrie Ann, that you read my book, The Rain Barrel Effect, but we are drastically reducing your total body burden, your total toxic load. And actually, I haven't even announced this yet. So this is for people that listen to the weekend podcast. You hear it first. You can go to stephencabral.com, click on the navigation bar if you're on mobile, or just you'll see it at the top on desktop. Click on assessments. You can actually take the Rain Barrel Effect, the toxicity quiz, right online now. So check that out. And you should always do it before the detox because, Carrie Ann, if you did that, you would see so many different changes as well. Anyway, here's what I want you to do. I want you to maintain these results. So do the functional medicine detox, the 21-day, but don't stop. Don't stop, okay? Listen to my podcast on how to transition off the functional medicine detox. So important. You want to keep the results coming. And honestly, it's so much easier than you think. It really is. Maintain with at least the daily nutritional support. Keep it going. You're going to get great results. More to come for sure. All right. Thanks, Carrie Ann. Patty's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I just started listening to your podcast, and they have really helped motivate me to start caring about my health again. I have 4 questions. 1, I'm really lazy about eating breakfast. I'm a vegetarian. I eat eggs and cheese, and I'm always hungry. A smoothie doesn't do it for very long. What is the best breakfast to keep me full? My mom, number 2. Well, let's answer them one at a time. All right. So the first one is this, Patty. Check out my podcast, episode 1551. Okay. A day in the life of my Mediterranean diet. It will explain to you. I'm vegan until dinner. I'm basically almost completely plant-based. A couple nights a week I have meat, a couple nights a week I have fish. That's it. On the weekend I have 2 eggs. Very, very simple. I mean, not a wild diet, right? But if I do just a smoothie in the morning, I could be okay, but I do better with some oatmeal and then my smoothie after my oatmeal. Anyway, check it out. I go through my whole A Day in the Life 1551. Okay. Question number 2. Let's see. My mom passed away from pancreatic cancer. Anything I can do to prevent this cancer? So there's no way I can give you a cancer prevention plan except to tell you that we need to follow what I write about in the de-stress protocol, right? And then that's inside of the rain barrel effect. Diet, exercise, stress reduction, rest, emotional balance, supplement protocols, and success mindset. So there's not one thing. Like, there's no silver bullet for cancer. I know that we're walking for cancer, we're doing charities for cancer, and I think those are great in terms of like technology, but the goal is not to get cancer in the first place. Cancer is a wild card. You can be exposed to things that you didn't even know. Like, I think people can get rid of and not get heart disease in the first place. I think they don't have to get high blood pressure in the first place. And I think that people don't need to get type 2 diabetes in the first place. Those are all very preventable. They really are, okay? But cancer, sometimes you're exposed to things that you don't even know. Sometimes there's genetic abnormalities, but I do believe we can cut it way down. So that's that. Okay. Now, number 3, it says, my sister just discovered a parotid tumor that she will eventually have removed. Do you have any information to share on parotid tumors? Okay. So parotid tumors, for those people that don't know, 2 salivary glands. They're just in front of the ears, basically right on the side of the cheeks. I've done many shows on cysts and tumors. So it can be from inflammation in general. What caused the inflammation? Gut issues, heavy metals, mold, some type of toxic overload in the body. Again, this is not a treatment protocol, but I would love for you, your sister, to do that 21-day functional medicine detox for sure. And I would use the proteolytic enzymes I've talked about on other podcasts as well. Number 4, wondering how your labs differ from those done at a regular doctor. If you're watching this on video, I'm using those air quotes, regular doctor. They take so much more blood during those tests, which is a big fear of mine. Why are yours different? And does using less blood make them less effective? Thank you. Okay, well, I can tell you this. I would never do anything that was less effective. That is never the goal. No, I mean, again, these have been used for I don't know, 40, 50 years or so. I had them done 25 years ago or so, and they were a game changer in my life. That's obviously how I started to get well. So no, I mean, the lab test that we use, the difference is this. And I did a whole podcast on what your blood results mean. So like the blood work to ask from your doctor. You can definitely check out that show. So here's the thing. Blood work from your doctor diagnoses disease. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I will do another podcast on this, but plain and simple. You have blood work done at your doctor to make sure that you don't have a disease. That's it. Doesn't tell you really anything about underlying root cause imbalances. That's the bottom line. The labs that we run are non-diagnostic, and they show you all of the underlying root causes that are causing the imbalances in your body, night and day. You should run the blood work with your doctor, your MD, but that does not preclude running the at-home labs that look at digestive function, which your doctor's not going to look at. They look at your omega-3s, probably not running that at your doctor's. Your heavy metals, like these are things that you're just not going to get. So it's good to get your blood work and be disease-free. I run my blood work twice a year, but I run my big 5 labs twice a year as well. All right. So really, really important. All right. I think that's it. Good question. And again, they're not less effective. Like we don't run certain labs because you run those with venous-based blood. We run ours with capillary blood by doing a finger stick. That's it, a couple drops of blood. But also our labs are urine-based, saliva-based as well. All right, good question. We have time for one more today. It's from Drea. I believe it's Drea. It's D-R-E-A, like short for Andrea or Drea, something like that. All right. Drea says, I wanted you to know that you and your team saved my life. I was preparing to wither away and die. Your words, I know everyone can get better, spoken through your podcast, changed everything for me. Because I believed you, and 2 years ago today, I ordered the big 5. Thank you. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. These are not questions I pre-read ahead of time, so that has me a little bit taken back. But, you know, the truth is, it is people like you, Drea. That's why we got into this in the first place. I mean, it really is. There's a reason why I talk about my mentor all the time, right? It was a long time ago now. I was 27 years old. I don't know how long ago that it was now, but about 14, 15 years ago. And she changed my life. She helped me figure out that last little bit. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. So I'm just trying to pay it forward. So is my team. All of the health coaches on my team, whether you've spoken with Laura or Erica or Julia or any of the great people on our team, that they've gone through their own health challenges and they're now paying it forward as well. So again, it's people like you. It's why we do what we do. And I love hearing those success stories. So thank you so much for writing in. I know it wasn't a question, but that's one of the best things you could ever write in. So thank you so much. You are, again, inspiring to me for me to keep on keeping on and keep doing what I'm doing. We're going to keep that at that for the day because I can't top that. So thank you so much. And I'll be answering more of our community's questions tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.